Hi, this is Ian Griffin with some of the answers to questions that came in to the Practical Social Networking webinar that Jim and I hosted this afternoon on September the 9th. We talked about LinkedIn and Facebook, and we had 5 questions that we ran out of time at the end of the webinar and were not able to answer. First of all, we heard from Berta. She wanted to know how to manage negative feedback that clients might leave on social media. In a similar vein, Veronica wanted to know if she asked a question in the LinkedIn answers section and people dumped on her or put her down, what could she do about it? Well, in both cases, it's not really wise to delete or block negative questions and comments on social media. People will always find a way around it. We recommend finding clients who are satisfied with you and having them leave positive comments. Similar to the way that restaurants today deal with bad reviews. In the old days, a negative review might come out in a newspaper, trade would drop off for a week or two, then nobody would find the newspaper anymore. Today, in social media, those negative comments can always be uncovered with a Google search. So the answer for both Berta and Veronica is to find people who won't put you down, who won't leave negative comments, and have them be your positive fans, and that'll quickly outweigh the negativity. A third question came in from Pamela, and she wanted to know, does Google just index the keywords in the summary section on LinkedIn of your profile? Well, we might have given this impression in the webinar. However, the most important things that Google looks at are first your name. Is it spelt correctly? That will be one thing to get right. And then secondly, your professional headline, as it's called. Mine is freelance speechwriter. Make sure that's correct. Then your job titles from your various activities and your various places of employment. Google will also look at the summary section, but that's more of a supplemental thing. Fourth question came in from Randall. He wanted to know, how can he get his company name registered on Facebook? Well, you remember at the end of the webinar we showed you the Starbucks page. Now, whether you're Starbucks or Joe's Sub Shop, you can still open what's called a fan page on Facebook. This is different than the profile that some of the people have. Fan pages have to be opened just by authorized officers of the organization, and Facebook will check on that. But Randall, if you've got a legitimate business, you can register it as a fan page and then go ahead and announce it to people who can become fans of your organization. The fifth and final question came from Jocelyn, and she wanted to know, is there a feature in LinkedIn that would allow her to email an email update or notification to all of her contacts at once? Well, not quite. The good folks at LinkedIn are trying to protect us against spammers. But if you go to the contact screen, you will see all of your connections listed alphabetically. Next to each thumbnail photograph, there's a little box you can check off and add that person to a list over on the right, where you'll see a menu prompt to send an email. It'll allow you to send a maximum of 50 people the same email. So if you've got 200 contacts, you just do it 4 times. It's not quite spamming, but it is a much more efficient way of contacting everybody on LinkedIn rather than sending them one message at a time. So those are the questions that we had at the end of the webinar this week. Next week on September 16th, we'll be back talking about websites and blogging. You can find full information about our social networking webinar series at www.socialnetworking101.biz. I'm Ian Griffin.